Hi, welcome to Guitar Time. I'm Robert Knoll. I'd like to discuss practicing. Okay, so you want to play guitar, but you're really busy and you have a job, or maybe you have a family and kids, or maybe there can be a myriad of circumstances, but you want to play guitar. Maybe you have a lot of time. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you're alone and you want to do something. There can be so many reasons why to play guitar, okay? But guitar requires that you spend time and that you learn to practice. As a teacher, I've worked with literally hundreds of students. Everyone learns differently. So I have to, when I teach a student, I like to get to know my student, and I like them to get to know me so that we have a rapport. And that makes it easy to talk about practicing when we know each other and we know about what our lives are like and what my student's life is about. It's different for everyone. So I like to try to suggest certain routines for people, depending on how busy they are, what their life is like, how they spend their time in days and nights, what their hours are, whether it's online lessons or personal lessons that students that come to me here to the hippie pad. We like to make a practice routine that works within a person's day and evening, usually. For a lot of students, I like to say practicing in the morning is good. You're fresh after you had a cup of coffee or woke up, took a shower, whatever you do, your morning routine. Making guitar that early morning part of your life, or mid-morning, can be really good because your mind is fresh. You're not filled with all kinds of things that go through the day. Maybe it's before you head out to work or before you start doing your job. Maybe you're at work at home, okay? Maybe when you have a clear mind and you're waking up, and if you have an environment that you can go to, maybe it's your living room, maybe it's a den, maybe it's a family room, maybe it's the hippie pad in the basement, or maybe it's in the attic, or maybe it's sitting outside if the weather's nice. But having a conducive environment is really good so that you're not bothered, and that so you have an environment that's nice for you to concentrate on your guitar. Because concentration is really important when you first start playing. So being comfortable. It should be comfortable chair that you can sit in a orthodox way or sit with guitar on your leg. There's different postures. But being comfortable, your environment plays a lot. Maybe it's you have a family and everything, and the family needs to know that you escaped for your half hour or hour, and not to bother you unless you really need, there's an emergency or something you're needed that's very important. But having that time, and if it can become a routine that, hey, I do this every day at this, I pick up my guitar at this time in the morning. Maybe it's not in the morning. Maybe it's at lunch. I have a lunch break at work, or I have come home, or this or that. It can be at that time. I like students, my favorite thing is practice a half hour, whatever you can in the morning, and then after dinner, after the kids are put to bed, or after you wind down, you can have that next half hour or hour before you go to bed. I think that starting your day with guitar and ending your guitar day with guitar is really a great way to learn. because you refresh yourself at the end of the day, what you did earlier in the day. And it kind of went with you all day as you went through whatever routines and things you were doing, your work or job or whatever it may be. So we can be flexible, okay? There's a lot of flexibility. But you do need to find that I need to set aside time. Guitar just can't be a thing that, oh, well, if I feel like it today, even when you don't feel good. Maybe you're upset, maybe it's a physical or mentally something going on. Maybe it's actually a cold or a flu or something, and you don't feel good. That it makes it more difficult to play and practice. I find that if you can do it on those kind of times when you're emotionally not great, or physically, mentally, or you're sick, if you can practice, it's good. Maybe it's shortened, but at least you do it. At least you pick up the guitar and you go through your routine. Routines, I like to look at the pie. What is a routine? Well, it's the pie of the hour. Let's say it's an hour practice. So you want to divide the pie up into, maybe it's the chromatic scale, natural scale, learning notes for a third of your time. Maybe that's 15 or 20 minutes you spend with just that. Your basics. And then you go into chords, and maybe chord progressions are working on for the next 15, 20 minutes, or a third of your time. Another part of the pie. And then the other part of the pie, the next part of the pie might be the special songs that we're starting to work on, or you're working on. Working actually on songs and your ear training, and could be various things. And then you could have another part of the pie being, this is my fool around time. I get to just kind of do a little bit of everything. Or review. I'm going to review all the stuff I did. Review the scales I did earlier, the arpeggios, my study of intervals, quiz myself. Your routine can be flexible to change every day, a little different. But if you don't have an outline in front of you, some of my students do, they have that outline. Hey, I'm going to work on this every day. So seeing it is really, can be beneficial to actually see this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Or this is what Robert suggests that I do in my routine, if you're a student of mine, okay? If you're a student of mine online or personally, I'm able to see by how you play what you need to work on. So we can put priorities on certain things, okay? Technique, skills, the mental part, the physical part, and we're making music. We're learning this guitar. We want to learn the geography. We want to learn to do the right things with our fingers, the orthodox school, and then maybe learn the wrong way, because the wrong way can be the right way. But that's after we've learned the right way, and the way that I teach guitar. So environment, once again, is really important. Your routine, setting aside that time. If for some reason emergencies happen and you don't get practice one day, well, hopefully you make it up the next day. Maybe you have several days. Well, you should try to make it up and figure out a way to get back on your routine, because you want to learn this guitar. Whether it's playing for your self-enjoyment, something you just want to do, play songs. Maybe it's play songs for family, children. Maybe it's play songs good enough to sing or play at the church, or maybe you want to entertain the elderly people at the nursing home. Maybe it's I want to do the campfires this summer with my family and friends. Maybe it's I want to go to the jam sessions. I want to be part of the jams up at the clubs, or maybe it's you want to be in a band. I want a band to play my music and what I do, my performance. Maybe it's I want to write songs and try to get a hit song so I can retire, right? There's so many reasons. Maybe it's just plain, I love the music. I just want to play songs I like, and it feels good, and I like it. It heals me. It makes me feel good to work on things. There can be so many reasons. Guitar is such a wonderful instrument. It is a healing instrument. I could tell you the stories, and I will in other videos and lectures, about how I've used the guitar to heal myself and others. And it's a great instrument to play songs, to tell stories, to let people know how you feel, to share your emotions through your guitar, to be hearted, right? Yes, to be hearted is really cool. We know that works. So we have to be mindful to learn how to learn. Learning how to learn, yeah. You might have routines that don't work for a while, but you work on routines and you tweak it in until, hey, this is working. This seems I'm getting better. Robert says he's seen me play and noticing a lot of improvements. Well, it's the time you spend. What you put in is what you get out, right? So you have to be focused at your practice time. You have to be able to focus on things, maybe look at videos I've done, look at paperwork, study it, make notes. Guitar can be like a college class for people. You're going for your degree. It can be that. It can be very simple and laid back too, in other ways, where it's not like a college class either. That, hey, we just work on these things for fun, we're going to get this. Different levels of seriousness, okay? Can be different. So I like to use psychology and what I know of the neurosciences, how the brain works, how the mind, how we reason to practice. What is our reasoning? So, as a skeptic, I'm skeptical about everyone. I don't know until I get to know you how I can help you. So, that's one of the great things about having lessons with me. I'm different than all the other teachers because I'm a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a neuroscientist, I don't know, a guru, scientist of guitar, guru of guitar. I'm a lot of things, maybe I'm pretending, but I have done a lot of research and study, and I found what works. I want you to be a great guitar player for whatever reason it is, the best you can be. I want you to attain your goals. Yes. Attaining goals takes a path. You got to take paths. You got to go on adventures. And sometimes you go down that road and something happens negative. Well, you took the wrong path. Maybe you go down that one, and that's the way to get where you want to get. Or maybe you have to go down several paths. You have to try this path and see where it goes, in this path and this angle, and go down here and see where it leads you. And then backtrack and go, oh, it was that path. I've got to go back and try it again. Life throws in its challenges too. There's things that we don't know it's going to happen tomorrow. But I think if you can make guitar part of your everyday living, like you get up, brush your teeth, you get ready, you do things, make guitar like that. It's something I do every day. You won't be able to see the advances if you're a beginner until maybe after 2 months, 3 months, or weeks after you've been practicing and studying your guitar and learning, and then you're able to look back and go, wow, I'm able to do this and this, and I couldn't do that when I first picked up the guitar. That's the way it kind of goes. 6 months later, you look back and go, wow, boy, a few months ago I was just doing that, but look what I'm doing now. A year comes. Well, I'm actually doing songs. I'm working on things. I'm learning so much about ear training. My ear's getting better, and the music theory, guitar theory. It's wonderful. So love your guitar and work on your routine, okay? Your environment. Be mindful. Practice and make it happen.